And we're back with the wrong car. 1 second. There we go. I have it running because the battery's kind of dead, so I'm letting it run for a little bit. But nevertheless. But anyways, we're gonna remove this roof. We're gonna pry out this, like this right here is a little seal that can come out. There's a little seal right here for trim can come out. We're gonna use it. Once we get it back in the car, we're gonna put it back on. But that comes out. We gotta take out the sun visors with the two Phillips screws. This is a Phillips screw on this side. This pries out. You pull this, and then this has screws in there that comes out. We're gonna take out the oh shit handle. I kind of want to have the oh shit handle taken out completely, where I don't even have it anymore. But I don't know, because I'm gonna have a hole on the pillar, so we'll see how that works out. Then you got to come out here and take some of this stuff off in the back, but for the most part we're going to just remove this whole trim here in a second, so I'll catch you guys in a bit. And just like that, the roof is out. Besides all the trim you got to take out, like I said, A-pillars you got to remove both A-pillars. To get the A-pillar on the passenger side off, you got to remove the oh shit handle. Just take like a flathead and pry the end caps off to get the to expose the screw. It's just a Phillips screw. 2 Phillips screws, 1 on each side of the little oh shit handle. Once that's gone, remove your sun visors. The whole front end will flop down. And then for the back part, you would have to remove the coat hangers in the back. Remove the coat hangers. Once you remove the coat hangers, remove the screw. Those screws actually hold the roof in place along with all the trimming. The trunk on top, in the back of the car, on the top of the trunk lid, there is a trim that goes across here. That one doesn't pry away. You have to slide that one to the passenger side for it to come down. There is no clips whatsoever on that top. So when you take that top piece off in the back, you gotta slide it and it'll just fall straight down. So when you put it back, slide it back to the driver's side and it clips in. Or it doesn't clip, it just slides into place. I completely forgot on this one, I broke 2 of the clips on this side and I was like, oh wait, this one slides. And then, yeah, don't do what I did. As of right now, I'm gonna pull this out. The only way to get this out is you have to be careful with it, because it is, I don't know what material this is, but it is very, very fragile. It does bend a little bit, but you don't want it to bend too much like that. If you can get it to maneuver like this is your sun visor. So if you're sitting in the car like this needs to go turn that way. This is the hole where you open your sunroof. This is the driver's side, and that's the passenger side. So rotate it that way, and then you're able to pull it out just like that. And then boom, that's it. I'm gonna get these little dirt dabbers off, get that wasp out of there. God, I hope nothing's living in there. I doubt it though. Let me see. All right, I know I'm a little girl, I'm sorry. All right, let me get this hood off of here so I can put this, and I'll show you guys how I sand it down, or how I actually get the material exchanged out. All right, so how I do this is basically, this is the part that you see in the car sitting down. Front of the car is that way. This is the passenger side. This is the driver's side. Yes, I said that correctly. If you want me to do it easier for you. There. So, driver's side, passenger side. All you have to do is basically take the material that's old. Take the material that's old and just pull it away. You're gonna get left with this. This is a foam that we're gonna sand away. Super easy to sand, but you just have to remember to at least wear a mask or something. I'm sorry, I'm not showing you anything. At least wear a mask or something, because that shit is dusty and it will get everywhere. But literally, that's all you gotta do. Just pull this material off, just like this. And this is the old material that we see in the car, that what Mitsubishi offered when they provided us with the roof. They gave us this material. So remember, don't bend your board up too much, because if it don't go back in correctly, that's not my fault, it's yours. And there you have it. So if you ever pull in and it starts doing this, that's okay, because we're gonna get down to that. I think it's fiberglass. It's like a really, really thin sheet of fiberglass. But we're gonna get a sander. It doesn't really matter the grit, as long as it's not too aggressive to burn through the fiberglass in itself. But we're gonna get a sandpaper. You can use a DA if you have one, and just sand this all this material down. And it's gonna make a mess. So be prepared to vacuum, sweep. If you wanna do it outside, you can, but it is also like 11:15 in the morning. I mean, at night, so it's kind of late, so I'm gonna do it in my garage. For this, I'm going to use 120 grit sandpaper on a DA, and you just go to town on it, just like you're sanding the car. And that's it. And I'm not going to bore y'all with the whole process of me doing this because I need 2 hands to do it. You should have 2 hands to do it. That way you can support the board, it doesn't flex down too much. And then you can also put more pressure so the sandpaper can cut through what it needs to cut through. So, cool thing is your sandpaper looks like it's never been used. But this is as good as I'm gonna get it. When you're sanding it down, you wanna make sure that a lot of that foam is off. And I feel like my way worked pretty well because I did this in my last car and it lasted over 2 years in this Texas sun. But nevertheless, don't sand too crazy because things like that, it'll crack. Or you're actually, it's not cracking, it's just going through the first layer like that. It goes through the first layer and then starts coming out the back side, and then you'll just put a hole right through it, and then this thing technically can be destroyed. So when you're what the hell? When you're sanding it, be careful when you're sanding it. Don't go too hard, don't go too crazy. On the creases and like the formation like this, when you're coming with the sander, just be careful with those. So that's all for this. I'm gonna get the air compressor, I'm gonna get it so I can blow all this off. All right, well, I'm stupid and I can't use my compressor. So if you don't have a compressor, get one of these. O'Reilly, I think it's like $4 for this. You get 2 of them. It's the red pad, and just kind of like dry, sand it down. And that will get a lot of that dust to come off. And it would also help smooth it out a little bit better than what you did it with the sander. So the spray that we're gonna be using, but headliner adhesive, I think it's like 14 bucks a can. But this is what I use on the red one, on the red Eclipse, and it worked really well. Through this Texas heat, it worked really, really well. So what we're gonna do is, and make sure you're spraying it on the correct side. Don't be dumb and spray it on the bottom side and you're like, oh, it doesn't work. Don't be dumb, spray it on the right side. And that's what you need to do, is spray it on the side that you know you're gonna see. No point in wasting material down here. No point in, you can spray these pieces here, but really, because this is tucked in by the trimming of the interior of the car, don't spend too much time trying to form your new fabric into these little tabs. Every car has those tabs, but don't try to spend too much time on those tabs because there's no point. You're not gonna get it exact. You can get roughly, but just remember your trim covers about 3/4 of an inch, maybe 1/2 of an inch inwards. So try to get as much over as you can. Don't focus on the tabs too much because you will actually bend, crack. Some of them can crack, some of them can bend. These bend, but I don't like them bending too much because you can see that. So spray the board first. After you spray the board, get your material. Spray half of the board first because you don't want to spray the whole thing. You lay your material and you left some slack out. It's not going to dry instantly, but just spray half of the board first. Smooth it all out, get it a nice tight fit, and once you get the nice tight fit, then come to the other side of the board and spray the other side of the board, and make sure you spray your board and your fabric so that they both can join. Got it? Got it. All right, as you can see, I got half of it laid down already. If I was to pull up here, the whole thing's coming up, kind of, because it's still kind of wet. But anyways, I'll show you guys the. So when you, like I said, when you're doing it, make sure you're giving it a good, man, that's dark. Make sure you're giving it a good like spread. Make sure there's no creases, because if that adhesive dries with a crease, you'll get one and you'll see it in the material. Don't worry about your sunroof. It can have a little flex like it does because you're gonna cut it out anyways, and you're gonna fold it on the inside, and I'll show you that later. So make sure you get all your creases, get all your formity. So this here, as you can see, spray your fabric. Oh, I'm falling. Spray your fabric and spray your board, and just go all the way around. Same thing as up here. Don't worry about where your holes are at, because when you flip it, you'll see all the holes and you'll cut it out. Flip this back until you hear the material start being pulled. Okay. The material is being pulled right there. And spray your board first, and then spray your material next. This is the same one 2 years ago for the red Eclipse, and it was half full when I was done. So It does last a pretty long time. And this is bright. Once again, spray. Just like spray paint a little bit. And I know you guys can't see. I'm gonna fix that here in a second, don't worry. Let me just get across here. Spray your material, spray your board. The thicker you go, the longer it dries. Remember that. So you just want to get an even coat across, or as even as possible. Really focus on the edges. That way your material doesn't fold back eventually. And then you just do, I'm running out here. Don't worry about the sunroof. You can skip over it. Because remember, your sunroof is going to be covered. All right. Boom. Make sure you get all the board. Your board should kind of have a white texture to it, and you don't no longer see that board piece in there. That, put that. I still got enough in there. So let me fold this over. So we're gonna let this dry. Can y'all see? I know I was in the way, but we're able to see. We're gonna let this dry for about, I'm gonna let it go for 30 minutes. So this is all laid out pretty well. Gives me reminiscence of the red one. Things like this, that line, that's just part of the material. That's not even a crease. I'm feeling it now. Again, make sure your sunroof crease is there. This is super easy, guys. Like, it's super, super easy. If you want to know what material this is, it's at Walmart. Here is the information of it. I got 4.64 yards. It was $1.97, $1.19. What the hell? $1.91 per yard. And I got almost a little bit over 4.5 yards. Okay, new day. I fell asleep last night waiting for this thing to dry, but it is completely dry and tack-free. I mean, tacky-list-free. I don't know how to say it. But you can see the roof is there. The little thing for the button for the roof is there. We're gonna flip it upside down. And when we flip it upside down, I'll show you how to cut. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take a blade and we're gonna trace maybe an inch worth of material around, which will obviously leave you with a big center hole. The excess material, you're gonna cut slits in every corner. That will allow you to take that piece with adhesive and tighten it, pull it down, and lay it in there. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. And just like that. So basically what you have is all this excess piece, all this excess, you can take it, fold it over, just like that. And when you have things like this, just cut a slit straight across. That way you have this and this are separate pieces because they're slit there. Boom, sunroof is out, or sunroof is cut out and laid over. Just keep it padded, let it dry. And just like that. So when you flip it, yeah, make sure you get all the pieces to look good. Looks like that. And then remember that this little regress here has a gasket that goes around too, so it actually will seal up this edge really well. And a lot of this gets tucked underneath the trims, and then we will put our trimming around the edges again. So yeah, let's go ahead and put this back in the car and see where we're at. Yes, it's nighttime again. I know you're gonna probably think this takes an all-day project, and it doesn't. I have a life, guys. As much I would want it to, my life can't revolve around this right now, but nevertheless, our roof is done. Ignore this. I gotta get this white. I'm getting these reupholstered by somebody else. I don't know who. Somebody else was doing that. Somebody else was doing this one. But nevertheless, it is up. That's it. That's all she wrote. Roof is changed out now, so the mess that it leaves is annoying. But it leaves a mess. It's up there. It's mounted in. It ain't going nowhere. That's all I'm going to put for today's video. So I did the roof. I did the lowering springs, which they are lowered. I want to say they are 2 fingers. I think it was 4 at first, now they're 2. It's been a few days, so that's pretty much as low as they're gonna get. I'll put the spacer on this one today. Like I said, I have a life and I do other things, but there's a spacer on there. You can kind of see it. You can kind of see it right there. It's a really small 5mm spacer. The backs have it, the fronts don't, because I feel like the back was rubbing a little bit more than the front would. She's ready to go on the road. I'm about to pull her out because this project is almost completed after the respray of the paint. A really good cleaning. This one's pretty much done. But yeah, now that we got this one pretty much done, like I said, new paint job, a really good detail clean on the inside, and this car is done. And the door handle, I'm being lazy with the door handle. Side skirts, end caps, door handle, respray of paint, a good clean down, finish my tune. This one is done. Talon's gonna get painted. Like I told you guys a couple days ago, we got another 7 or 8 days left to go. Talon's gonna get painted. I got a buddy of mine just pulled up. We're about to pull the next project in, and you guys are gonna see it. Not now, but you will see it on the next video. So I'll catch you guys later. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you later.